Our story today is called Luis's Library, and we're going to learn about a man who found a way he can help those in his community. This story will use all 5 of our vocabulary words. So before we begin the story, let's do one more review of what those words are. Okay, the first was leadership. Okay, somebody who has good leadership is somebody you want to follow because they will help you succeed. The next is admire. Admire. If you admire somebody, you look up to them. You watch them as an example. Next is connections. Okay, how things are linked together. I should have just done that once. Okay, connections. That is how things are linked together. The next one is enjoy. If you enjoy something, it makes you feel warm and good inside. So we do a little rub right here. And finally, rely. If we rely on something, we count on it, we depend on it to be able to help us with what we need. Okay, so I'm going to get myself a little bit smaller here. And we're going to come to Luis's library. And the question is, how do you get your books? How does giving out books help people? In Colombia, a country in South America, children love to read books. But getting books when you live far away from a town with a library can be hard. A man named Luis Soriano has come up with a way to bring books to some very small villages in Colombia. Luis is a school teacher in a small town. He enjoys books just as much as his students do. In the house he shares with his wife and children, there are books stacked up to the ceiling. Whoa! He believes that the children in his country should have books and a library no matter where they live. For over 10 years, he has shared his books with children all over Colombia, and you'll never guess how he delivers them. Take a moment. What do you think he does to deliver the books to all the children? Should we find out? Luis doesn't throw his books into the back seat of his car or even onto a wagon. He delivers them on 2 donkeys. First, he straps small bookshelves onto the backs of his donkeys. They are named Alpha and Beto, after the Spanish word for alphabet, alfabeto. Then he fills the shelves with books and heads out to one of the 15 villages he visits regularly. Luis and his donkeys carry signs that say Biblioburro. That means donkey library in Spanish. It's a library on legs. Isn't that awesome? Luis and his donkeys get up very early every Saturday and spend the day making sure children who live deep in the country have books to read. They cross over rivers and follow dangerous trails. They even fight off snakes and hot temperatures to bring children books. A few years ago, Luis broke his leg when he fell from one of the donkeys. But he was back to delivering books as soon as he healed. Luis knows the children rely on him for getting new books to read. He won't let anything slow him down. The children in the small villages Luis visits know when he and the Biblioburro are coming. They line up the street and wait excitedly for the donkeys to ride into town. Under Luis's leadership, the children gather around and listen to him read from new books. In some places, they hold class in the street. Luis gives them lessons in different subjects and works with them to improve their reading skills. He even gives them homework to turn in during his next visit. Luis also has the children draw pictures and tell their own stories. Luis knows that reading and writing help children make connections to the rest of the world. Of course, Luis also lets the children and their families borrow books. He brings as many different books as he can so people can always find something that interests them. He even brings dictionaries and encyclopedias. The Biblioburo is a library after all. Luis started the Biblioburo with only 70 books. He had to work very hard to make his dream of a donkey library come true. Now people all over the world admire Luis because of the Biblioburo. Of course, people admire the donkeys for their hard work too. Luis couldn't have done it without Alpha and Beto. Movies and picture books have been made about Luis and the Biblioburo. Now he gets books sent to him from as far away as New York City. With all of the donated books, he and his wife have more than enough books for their collection. They have started to build a real library in a real building near their home. Luis has inspired people in other parts of the world to give books to children who have no other way of getting them. So even though Luis has never left Colombia, he has helped children all over the world. And there we have it. Wasn't that an awesome story? I really admire Luis for his work as well. Do you? How would you want to share books if you had the chance? Think about it.